Hey, I'm Gaurav at gardentalkclub, and you are at the right place to know more about an interesting topic today. Define your purpose versus goal. If you are new to this channel, I'm so glad you are here. My name is Gaurav, and I am here to simplify interesting topics such as these. Let's get going on purpose versus goal. Why finding your purpose matters, and four ways to find yours. Often presented as a solution for people lacking direction. The notion of finding your purpose might sound like a cliche, but having a sense of purpose has been linked with a range of physical and mental health benefits. So, what actually is purpose? Why does it matter? And how can you find yours? Purpose is interrelated with goals and meaning, but not the same as either. Goals are specific actionable aims we have, for example, graduating, getting a job, or losing weight. Right? Goals can be accomplished, meaning a broader perspective, subjective response. We might find meaning in listening to certain music or watching a sunset. Volunteering for a good cause. Meaning occurs when we ascribe personal significance to things. Purpose is, however, less tangible. It can be described as a guiding principle that frames the senses of meaning and our goals. It has been defined as a stable and generalized intention to accomplish something that is at once personally meaningful and at the same time leads to productive engagement with some aspects of the world beyond the self. The latter part of the definition, in particular, those wider connections beyond the self, are linked to positive mental health and well being. Individual versus collective in modern society, there tends to be a greater focus on setting and achieving individual goals and less on creating meaningful connection with others, which are like more important for finding meaning and purpose in our lives. With people working longer hours, goals are often work driven, leaving little time to pursue personal goals outside of work. So, if your work isn't aligned with your purpose, even when meeting goals, we can feel a reduced sense of purpose. Just break before the next deep dive. So, if this interests you, consider subscribing to new content on my channel and ring the bell to get notified when new videos post up. Be sure to hit the red subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified of new content. Again, young people in particular face constant messages about how they should achieve more, including pressure to start a side hustle and aspire the lives of social media stars, many of which are unattainable. While today's hustle culture, which emphasizes relentless work as necessary for success, might present a barrier to finding purpose in life, a new interest, hobby, or even second job that's driven by purpose can also mitigate against pressures and burnouts which are commonly associated with modern life. How does purpose help? Over the life course, roles change, right? For example, we change friendship groups. We might get married, become a parent. Expectations at work will change, and one day we'll probably retire. When our identities are too strongly linked to any of these roles, it can leave us feeling of lost or uneasy when things change. But research also suggests that having a sense of purpose can help us rebalance, right? Avoiding reactive ups and downs. Purpose makes us better able to tolerate stress and bounce back when we face difficulties. Researchers among doctors and nurses found a sense of purpose helped them navigate the intense emotions their work is there, allowed them to be more empathetic without draining their emotional resources. Purpose is not necessarily tangible concept. People who report having a sense of purpose have greater satisfaction at work, financial success, and overall life satisfaction. Purpose is linked with a stronger sense of identity and improved mental health. Having a sense of purpose is also associated with better physical health. For example, a low risk of stroke, heart disease, and Alzheimer's. Health benefits like these probably explain why people with purpose tend to age well and live longer. These associations are taught to occur partly because having a sense of purpose increases healthy practices such as physical activity, social connections. This buffers against loneliness, which is known to affect physical health. As a psychologist, and we have seen that the question of purpose and seeking meaning frequently brings people to therapy. Even if they don't know when they arrive, people who are outwardly successful in work and relationship can report feelings unsettled without knowing the reason. Often the sessions uncover feelings of being disconnected from or lacking a sense of purpose. Again, tips to find your purpose. 1. Find some time right. Journaling allows you to organize your thoughts and can increase well-being. Writing down things that makes you feel happiness, anger, or sadness can reveal topics that matter to you. For example, have you experienced something that felt unjust? Often purposes are aligned with social justice, tackling poverty, increasing access to education, and reducing obesity. Second, list your values. Identifying your values can help focus thinking about your purpose and actions you can take to support this. For example, if you have identified climate crisis as something you feel strongly about, but your values tend towards avoiding social disruption, right? You will be unlikely to get involved in protests regardless of how much you support the issue. You may instead focus on different way of connecting with your purpose, such as recycling or driving less. Find your passion. What do you love to do? If you love dancing, you want to tackle poverty, maybe there will be ways of getting involved in teaching dance to disadvantaged children. If you love reading, you may want to explore finding ways of applying this, such as reading to patients in hospital or supporting children with their reading needs in schools. Fourth one, get involved. Purpose is about something bigger and beyond the self. Is there a way of bringing together things that matter to you with some way of giving back? Volunteering helps to create a sense of well-being, and the purpose can connect you with others. Remember, purpose is not something we achieve at certain point in time. It's a journey across life course rather than a destination. So to find your purpose, first take your time reconnecting with yourself. These were a few basics of how to get your purpose sorted. Be sure to like and subscribe my channel to update to this topic plus host of other. Beyond this, if you are interested in more of these videos, do comment below, and thank you for following this video till the very end.